Y'all haven't downloaded the app yet?
Y'all go download the Passport Bros app, man. Shout out to BMT. Shout out to the Passport Bros, man. This is something special. Everybody should get on it. We got our own social network now.
All right, man, look, I don't know, y'all missing out, man. Look, if you want any information, if you want to be a part of a community, be a part of like a brotherhood, man, and people watch out for you, whether it's entrepreneurs, YouTubers, or anything you really want to get into, man, y'all need to download that app, man, Passport Bros.
Only Passport Bro app, download it, BMT, dropping a platform for everybody to be social on. So get that, copy that.
All right, man, it's your boy Average Man Unplugged. Make sure you hit the Passport Bro app. We got all our content on there. We got our own network now, you guys, all right? So go check that out, man. Passport Bro app. Make sure you download it.
An American. Is an American? Yeah. I did it in the past.
I beg your pardon?
And I actually like it. I love it because Americans are very different than Colombians. They are always like, they appreciate you a lot. They tell you that you're looking beautiful because maybe in US, the girls don't get ready like a lot like us. You know that
Bruh.
You heard it. The dreadheads doing the best. So for me, it's like very nice that a guy appreciate you all the time. So that's very cool. I like it. It's very nice. And in Colombia, we love foreigners. Everything different is very nice.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
Oh, excuse me, I have to tell you this. You are the most beautiful woman in the world.
Most beautiful woman in the world.
Look
How
at this
would
woman.
You know, this guy doesn't even have a passport. I have a passport, and I know when I see the most beautiful woman in the world. And you ain't it. Excuse me.
Asshole.
What a dick.
This ugly ass.
I'm getting a passport soon.
I love your app.
Download the Passport Bros app.
Well, y'all know what it is. Download the app.
Y'all need to join that Passport Bros app.
Download now in the App Store and Google Play.
All right. We are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT, and I got Flight Madness in the building. What's going on today, Flight Madness?
Hey, man, it's a good day, man. It's actually a good night over here in China. I know it's daytime where you are.
Yes, sir. It is hot as a mug out here in the DR, but that is to be expected. What's the weather out there where you at in China?
It was rainy for a while, but now it's back to being hot. It's like we're at the phase now where it's kind of like transitioning between like, okay, what's the weather deciding it's going to do? Is it going to be like cold now or is it going to be hot? But, it's hot now. I think it's pretty hot.
Okay, excellent, man. Oh, goddamn echo. You hear my echo?
I don't hear any echo.
Okay, we good. All right, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat early. Shout out to my man King Cray in the building. Says some do, some don't, depend on how Western influence they are. Okay, I got my man Jay Clyde always in the building. Salute to my man Jay Clyde. Say hit that like button when you come in, guys. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. And we got Donovan D in the building. Says downloading right now. So shout out to him. He's downloading the Passport Bros app. We got a real dope community on there, man. Guys actually showing receipts, traveling the world, tipping each other for good information, man. So make sure to download the app. The app is free to download, but if you do want to join the revenue program, you definitely do that at $5 a month at being a Passport Bro. So basically what that means, guys, to make a long story short, is you get to monetize your posts. You put a tip marker on there, and guys will pretty much tip you for good information, dope post. All right. So make sure to download the Passport Bros app. I got my man Change for the Better in the building. Says, what up? What's good, fellow ATLian? What's good? I got Nate Hartfield in the building early. He says, big ups to BMT from Phoenix, Arizona. Man, I know it's hot as hell in Phoenix, Arizona, man. Shout out to you all the way out there in Phoenix, all right? WC, which app is there more than I thought? Look at the logo right here on the bottom of the screen, guys. That's the logo, green and white. All right. The PBV2, that is the logo. We should come up first. Shout out to my man Bruce M2 says, thanks for another stream. Yes, sir. We in here. Checking in from the NY. All right. All right. So, Danny, before we get into the subject at hand, and let me put you on mute because I keep hearing a little feedback on your end, brother. So I'm gonna put you on mute. But I want to get this. I want to get this real quick answer, real quick, because this has been going around. And since you out there in Asia, and I think we discussed this before, but I want to know. I want to get to the bottom of this, man. Hold on 1 second. All right. Okay. So we got this. Japan is offering Passport Bros money to have babies with Japanese women. Cash facts fully explained. I want to give a shout out to my man, the Passport Man. You guys can sub to his channel. Let me know if you guys can hear this, by the way, when I play this. All right, because I want to get to the bottom of this. Danny's out there in Asia, not necessarily Japan, but he's definitely got boots on the ground because he got people out there in Japan. So let's look up into this real quick, man. Hold on, let me play the video.
Girls, ask them out sometime in the future.
75,000 American dollars a pop for each pregnancy.
Japanese are going extinct.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Japan needs you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Passport Man. Japan is offering cash for having babies. Yes, people are getting paid money to have babies. And yes, the sources are reputable, Business Insider, CNN, etc. People are taking advantage, and people are overreacting and misrepresenting the facts. So this video is designed to clear things up. I live in Tokyo, and even though I enjoy dating in New York City, I definitely recommend that if you don't enjoy dating in New York or in America, then to definitely move to Japan or at least visit. Japan and Japanese women are not how the media depicts. Business Insider said people in Japan are being paid to have babies, and it's working.
Okay, real quick. Can you guys hear that? Could everybody hear that in the chat? Could you hear that, Danny? Hold on. Could you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, so that's pretty much the gist of it. Have you heard anything about this being out there? Or, you heard anything about this?
I mean, honestly, I asked a bunch of guys who are in Japan, and it seems pretty clear that this is like a myth. It's being misrepresented in the media for views. For example, okay, here in China and Japan are countries that they have an issue with the birth rate. Like people are not having enough babies. So the government is giving more incentive to Chinese people or Japanese people to have kids. Mm-hmm. So that could translate into some kind of tax breaks, some kind of maybe stipend for having kids, etc. But saying they're just straight up paying $75K. I mean, this guy, Passport Man, he's quoting Business Insider and CNN. But when I looked in the comment section of the video, it seems like pretty much everybody is saying this guy is misrepresenting the facts. I'm pretty sure that I looked in the comment section and people were saying that. But yeah. And guys, there's no free lunch, man. There's no free lunch. If you think that you're just gonna go get a Japanese woman pregnant and stack $75K, you're gonna be living good. It doesn't work like that. Why do you think they'd be giving you $75K if they don't expect to make at least $750K off you? There's no free lunch, guys.
Okay. Shout out to my man, it's Dre the Kid in the building. He says, well, I should do my part to help out Japan because I'm a nice guy and I want to support their culture. But let's play a little bit of the video a little bit more before we go to the next subject.
In fact, a few weeks ago, Business Insider published an article about a man who moved to Japan with his Japanese wife to take advantage of the money and financial incentives. But Japan is not paying 75,000 American dollars a pop for each pregnancy. First, I saw this.
Japanese are going extinct, and there's only one thing you can do to help us, and it is go out there and start producing with Japanese. Because we are going extinct, Japanese are getting rarer. I know this is not the best site that you're looking at, but it might be your last time that you're looking at real Japanese girl on TikTok.
Okay, real quick. Now, is this really a thing, Danny? Like, hold on. Is this really a thing? Or, is it a possibility? Is it a possibility that like the traditional Japanese people will be extinct in the next generation or so?
I don't think it's gonna happen within our lifetime. Like, it said, like, based off the research I've done, China is like facing the steepest demographic decline. It's demographic decline. So what we're talking about, guys, we're talking about demographics. So that means that basically, what is the ratio going to look like a few years from now? And basically, it said like the stuff I'm hearing is that by what 2050 or something, that's when we're going to see like some major stuff pop off, like demographically. But that's like 25 years in the future. So you guys are probably all going to be having grandkids by then. So don't get your hopes up about this. But honestly, it's not really a good thing. Like the demographic decline is not a good thing because it just means less people. Generally speaking, more people the better, I think. Unless we're talking about a place like India where it's maybe too many people. But basically, Japan is facing a serious demographic decline. People are like not having babies. China the same way. So the governments probably are giving some kind of cash incentive. But if you think you're just gonna hop on a plane and go over to Japan and cream pie a few Japanese women, I don't think you're gonna be stacking up the money like that, man. I don't think it's gonna work out that way.
And it was interesting in the clip. They had a brother out there, with his Japanese wife. Now, Joseph Relaford says they don't like dark meat. What would you say to that? Like they're pretty much saying, "Hey, yeah, we welcome the European guys, but we ain't really trying to mate." Because if they date with the European guys, of course they still gonna hold on to that, the white pale skin. But of course, with our genetics being a little stronger, they mate with us, they gonna come out pretty much brown and black. So, what would you say to that?
The guys I know who go to Japan, they say it's pretty much equal in terms of like how black men and white men get the treatment for the most part. It's like I said, I said in a different live stream about how Korean women are difficult for everybody, guys. Like, Korean women are not easy women, and Japanese women are not easy either for anybody. So will being white maybe help you a little bit? Yeah, but is it going to make things so much easy for you? Like, oh, I'm just going to show up, be white, and get like the hot chicks? Not really. But basically you have a pretty good chance. Like black guys love Japan, I know black guys who got some pretty good quality over there in Japan. So it's what you make of it, guys,
Better quality than Thailand?
Maybe because I hear like Thailand, based off what I've heard, Thai culture, like historically, they do have an aversion to dark skin. It's not an aversion to black guys; it's just a general aversion to dark skin. So that's why it's maybe stronger in Thailand. The aversion, like they prefer lighter skin. But like there are plenty of guys who are getting action in these countries, so it's not like you're going to be dry. But are there it's like, okay, guys, it's like certain advantages people have, right? It's like if you're a really tall guy, would a woman prefer a guy to be really tall? Yes. Would a woman prefer a guy to be really rich? Yes. Would a woman prefer a guy to be really handsome? Yes. Do women date and marry guys all the time who aren't tall, rich, or handsome? Yes. So it's like, it's just some preferences. Guys take it too harshly. They say, okay, I'm not the ideal preference in one area, so I lose my chance. And I guess because we're black men, we pay so much attention to it, right? We pay attention to like, the white skin preference, so it means there's no hope for me.
Okay. Shout out my man Felipe Lindsay. He says BMT travels. My cousin has lived in Japan for over 30 years. This is being misrepresented. I think that's pretty much what you're saying. It's Dre the Kid says, I identify as Asian, so I am good. Shout out my man. It's Dre the Kid. I wish it worked like that, bro, right? All right, we all identify as something else on the right day. Malik Foster said Japan might be cooked. All right, shout out to my man Flight Madness. He's also on the show. Shout out to you, man, with the $5 super chat. The first super chat of the day says no free lunch, guys. No free lunch. So basically, it's I guess you want to say this is kind of like passport bro pandering. That's the new term today? There's a lot of passport bro pandering going on.
Yeah, like I think like these media outlets, like these gossip media outlets, they're pretty heartless. Like they don't have any loyalty to anybody. They're just loyal to like whatever gets them views that day or that week. So don't think that they care about you if they're reporting about this, man. Like they don't care about y'all, man. They just trying to get some views real quick, stack up a couple $100. Cause that video, that lady, I forgot her name, like Tyra G or something, or I don't know what her name is. We talked about her Japanese video last time. That thing blew up on TikTok. So people are definitely drinking the Kool-Aid, like people love being lied to.
I mean, she's playing off the thirst of Western men, especially, brothers. Like, brothers is like starving in the States. So she's playing off that thirst. And what dudes do is they see that video and they share it with all their boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, we're going to go to Japan. We're going to pull up. They're going to give us $75,000. We're going to have us about 2-3 baby mamas. So that's what her intention was, because she knows how to go viral. And we have to understand that in this day and age, going viral is like having a hit song. Right, it might be more financially beneficial than a hit song at this point. So a lot of content creators will say things to kind of pander to a certain audience. Felipe Lindsay once again says BMT travels. Black men have an equal shot in Japan as Muzungu men, but the black men must learn Japanese and they must assimilate to the culture. Japanese women leave Muzungu men all the time. Mzungu, hope I pronounced that correctly. All right, Change for the Better says, I'm dark skinned with locks and I was getting plenty of play in Thailand. Okay, that's what's up. But what's your definition of plenty of play, though? That's the definition. Are you meeting the parents or are you just smashing and dashing? All right. At the end of the day, you need to have game. If you're dealing with regular women, that's not tricks. All right. Shout out to my man Romeo Guerrero. And I think he's Dominican, if I'm not mistaken. But shout out to my man Romeo. All right, black man travels in the building. That's black man travels. Men like the idea in having a traditional woman, but wouldn't be able to take care of a traditional woman. All right, black man, you came in here early today, brother. All right, we're going to get to that. Okay, we're going to get to that. We got a few more reactions, but we definitely going to get to that. All right, so shout out my man, black man travels. And we might do a panel. You got time for a panel today, Danny? We might do a panel.
Yeah, sure. I got all night.
Okay. All right, so before we get to the topic of traditional women versus modern women, and we set the definitions of a traditional woman, because that's what we gotta do. We gotta set the definitions to be very clear in our assessment of the generalization, basically. All right, so let me pull this up. Now, this might be something that you might be interested in, guys, in dealing with modern relationships, modern women. I'm going to play this clip real quick and we'll see what's going on in the back end. All right. Let's see what we at here. Okay.
Influencer girlfriend that includes fines for non-compliance. The 17-year-old Brazilian football star has been dating his 21-year-old blogger girlfriend Gabrielle Miranda for 6 months. Speaking on the Pod de las podcast, Gabrielle said, "There's an email, there's ID, his signature, my signature, everything is correct." Endrick added, saying, "I love you is mandatory in any situation and always holding hands." Gabrielle revealed there are some strict prohibitions. She said, "It is extremely forbidden to argue or fight in front of others, and you cannot have a drastic change in personality and behavior. We can't sleep or go out fighting." The footballer went on to say that if either of them break a rule, they must pay a fine. He added, "Whoever doesn't comply with this at the end of the month has to give what the other person wants." Real Madrid prodigy Endrick has a peculiar dating contract with his influencer girlfriend that includes fines for non-compliance. The 17-year-old Brazilian football star has been dating his 21-year-old blogger girlfriend Gabrielle Miranda for 6 months. Speaking on the Pod de las podcast, Gabrielle said, "There's an email, there's ID, his signature, my signature, everything is correct." Endrick added, saying, "I love you is mandatory in any situation and always holding hands." Gabrielle revealed there are some strict prohibitions. She said, "It is extremely forbidden to argue or fight in front of others, and you cannot have a drastic change in personality and behavior. We can't sleep or go out fighting." The footballer went on to say that if either of them break a rule, they must pay a fine. He added, "Whoever doesn't comply with this at the end of the month has to give what the other person wants." Real Madrid...
Okay. I had to play that twice because it started off in the middle. Hold on. That is this where my relationships are going? First of all, he's really young to be in a relationship at 17, and she's 21. So I'm assuming that this was her idea because it sounded like a young chick type of idea to write contracts and shit. Like people going to actually uphold to it. But what do you think about that, man? Is it getting this serious?
Okay, so there's a few things. This contract thing. So hypothetically, it could work. Like, okay, like you're gonna have a contract with a woman and she has to behave a certain type of way. But the problem is like the enforcement, guys. Like one thing you gotta know about women is like they love going back on their word and like, just following their emotions. So a woman might sign some kind of contract like this, but then like, she might not really be about her business. She might just be like, go with the wind. Like, so don't expect a woman to keep her word in this kind of thing. Like, it's just like, especially a really beautiful woman. And this guy, he has leverage, right? Like he's like a famous footballer, and I'm guessing pretty much like this girl, she's an influencer. So she probably, he has that kind of leverage. So he could probably enforce this kind of thing with a woman. But if you're just like a regular guy dating a woman, you probably don't have the power to enforce this kind of thing the way they do, because clearly this is like a business relationship. Like clearly, do I think this is like genuine love on her part? No. Do I think this guy, he's a 17 trying to make sure like this woman doesn't mess up his bag and doesn't like screw him over? Like maybe he got like it could have been like his parents or somebody who enforced this, because like for him, like he's 17, he probably doesn't have that much relationship experience, especially since he's probably, I guess he's a very successful football player, so maybe he's very career focused. He probably doesn't have a lot of time to date women. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of his like his uncles or maybe his parents brought out this contract and say, hey, like, you're gonna be dating our son, you're gonna be dating this like Madrid player, or you gotta sign this contract, lady. And I think it's a good idea, actually. For him, I think it's a good idea.
I definitely wished him the best, man. But he's so young, bro. Like, just if I was in his circle, I'd be like, bro, just enjoy yourself, have fun. You're fucking 17 years old. Like, neither one of them know themselves. She probably knows herself a whole lot more than he do, because it's a big difference in a 21-year-old woman and a 17-year-old kid. Big difference. It seems like it's only a few years, but it's I'm telling you, the maturity rate is sky high. They might as well be 10 years apart in maturity. I don't think it's a good, even with a contract, I'm like, bro, you don't even know who you are just yet. You're fucking 17 years old. You're lucky. You're a football star. That's what's up. So you got your bag already right. But, what if you get hurt? What if it's some bullshit happen? What if you squander your money? You're still super, super young. And most people, when they're that young and they achieve wealth really fast and relatively quickly, and in some cases easily because he's 17, what type of struggles has he had? He might have had some struggles, don't get me wrong. He is overseas. But I'm just saying in general, I would just say, man, you got to find yourself, man. The problem with young relationships is somebody's trying to find themselves in the relationship. And 17, by the time he hit 23, he got money. He's going to be wild as hell. She's going to be 26, 27, ready to get married. He's just going to be just coming into his own. So that's going to be difficult regardless. I got my man Discerning Dash says, the Caribbean is traditional still. I am Haitian. So glad I got a Filipino culture and food is similar. I could never be with an American woman. I got a traditional Filipina, and I'm a traditional man. Shout out to the Discerning Dash. Are you out there in the Philippines, though? That's my question to you, brother. Are you actually out there in the Philippines, or are you in America? All right. Discerning Dash says again, we mean traditional in roles. The woman cooks, cleans, listens to her husband, and the man provides, protect, and lead the household. I'm glad you gave that definition, man, because that's one of the definitions I was definitely going to get at. All right. It's J. Clyde said he's a popular soccer player and just transferred to Real Madrid. All right. Cortez says she's a predator. Man, what woman ain't a predator when you got resources, brother? I just said I was not American culturally. I do not like eating American foods. I prefer home cooked meals. And I just said to my girlfriend, and I have similar culture and foods. My man, she says, man, Caribbeans are Americanized. It depends. It depends. If you're in the major cities like San Domingo and shit, it's going to be a little bit of some Americanization, definitely. And unfortunately, some of it comes from New York, which is probably the worst city to be influenced by overseas, in my opinion. But Yeah, you're absolutely right. You probably got to go a little bit outside the city to get kind of, more traditional women. Now, I'm going to play this clip real quick that somebody posted in the Passport Bros Facebook group. Shout out to everybody in the Passport Bros Facebook group. This is awfully pretty funny, but I will say that this right here can apply really to any country, but we're talking about the DR specifically right now. So let me pull this up real quick. And we got 85 in the room. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button for your boy. All right. All right. This is hilarious, bro. This is hilarious. Hold on. Hold on. Can I make that bigger? Hold on.
Bro, I think I'm in love. With who? With this girl. Her name is Yoseris. She said she really likes me. She said I was different from all the other tourists that come here, bro.
Dude, I promise you, she is saying that to every American that comes through here.
Nah, bro, this is different. This is real, bro. She keep calling me Poppy.
She's just trying to get money out of you. I promise you, she's saying.
Nah, bro, she got her own job. She said she's a chapeadora.
Bro, that means like a gold digger, dude. That's what that means.
Nah, bro, I don't think she works in the mines, dog.
There's no way you're this stupid. There's no fucking
She even got
way.
a cute little nickname for me, too. She called me Puta. This might be the one, bro.
I promise you, not every girl that calls you Poppy is the one.
All right, bro, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the ATM.
For what?
Marisol needs a retainer, bro. Her teeth are fucked up.
Who the fuck is Marisol?
Her daughter. Well, I guess she's my daughter now, too.
Jesus Christ, this is why I cannot take you anywhere, bro.
I'm just trying to be a good dad, bro.
You're
That's
not
it.
a fucking fuck. I don't care. I don't care.
All right, hold on, man. I'm sorry, family. That shit was hilarious to me, bro. That shit was so hilarious. I had to play that. Hey, shout out my New York dudes. I be messing with y'all. Like a lot, like at least I got more homies in New York than I do Atlanta. So I just be throwing shots at my New York cats. But shout out to all my New York dudes. But y'all know y'all shit be fucked up. Y'all know y'all chicks be hella masculine, okay? Come on now. What's that little rapper name? C Gut. What's the little chick name? The little chick they be rapping with the little mic and all that shit. Rough as hell, man. Y'all be having some rough chicks. Y'all came and fucked up all the cities in America. All right, New York City took over Atlanta. We ruined it for y'all. Yes, y'all did, that means y'all effed it up. BMT says, stay roasting the NYC. But man, hey, the reason, you on mute, Danny. But the reason I played that, bro. Okay, you put yourself on mute. But the reason I played that shit, bro, because I've seen that in every country. I swear to God, not just the DR. That was specifically about the DR. But fam, if that don't happen in Thailand all the time, I know guys that go to these little red light areas. They spend a bag, and the difference is out there, the girls will spend a lot of time with you, right? They'll spend a lot of time with you, like days, 2-3 days with you, cooking, cleaning, being, you're experiencing the girlfriend experience. And I see guys, they just, bro, I've seen it with my own two eyes. They be ganking dudes heavy. They start sending money. They in love. They all taking pictures on Facebook. And I'm seeing her like, man, she got like 3-4 different Facebook pages, bro. She got different boyfriend on each Facebook page. So that's why I thought that shit was funny. But what you think about that, Flight Man? So we about to get the subject at hand too, but what you think about that?
Yeah, man, I've seen the same thing happen here in China. Like maybe last year, there was like a white guy, American white guy. He came to my city. He met like this Chinese girl. They knew each other for like less than 2 weeks. And like within a week, the girl said, I love you, right? So for him, he's an American guy. He's actually like pretty young, but he's like, maybe early 30s. He's working on his computer, like he's a remote worker. He was making pretty good money. But basically it's like, he fell in love with her. And the thing is, like the girl, she already had a foreign boyfriend in a different country. So she already had a relationship that's been going on for a few years, but she was thinking about breaking up with him. But her and that guy, they already had a house together, right? So her and her previous boyfriend, they already had a house together. And the new guy, he comes in, he knows her for less than 2 weeks, and he wants her to break up with her boyfriend for him. Like he literally just got into the country 2 weeks ago, and he's all in love with her. He wants her to like end her previous relationship. I'm like, bro, like she's only known you for like a week. She's had a relationship with this other guy for like a couple years. They have a house together. You think she's gonna break up with that guy for you? But he was like, no, man, she told me she loved me. He's like, she was serious. I'm like, no, man, like she doesn't love you. You're just like, she's just playing you, man. And basically it ended up like, she just stopped talking to him. Like, it's like he kept blowing up her phone. Like he kept blowing up her phone. Like, tell me you love me. Like all this crazy stuff. He was like really sipping really hard for her. And basically she stopped calling him. Like she stopped talking to him at all. Like, you know, and I was like, bro, I told you, man. Like she said she loved you, but it's like women say that stuff all the time. It's like it's just something women say. I've seen situations where a girl knows a guy for like 2 hours and she wants him to tell her, tell me you love me. And it's like one of those types of things. Like some women want to hear that before they sleep with you, right? It's like some women, in order for them to feel comfortable sleeping with you, they have to they want to say, okay, he said he loves me, so it's okay. But it's like, you know, it's just one of those games that women play.
You know, it's funny, man, because we talk about game, and one of the biggest games that you will find out is, you know, you definitely want to kind of learn about the woman's past. And when I say past, not necessarily how many guys they've been with, even though all that's important, but like her parental past. Like did her father, did she have a father or something like that, which is major? Or what type of mom did she have? You know, was her mom young? Were they old? Was she raised by her grandparents? Because what you'll find out with women is that they fill voids, right? You know, well, we will walk around with holes in our life, you know, okay, our parents and say hey, they loved us and all this bullshit. We just kind of just walk around with it. We're not trying to feel it. We're not necessarily looking for a maternal figure in our life. We're not looking for another mom, right? We're not looking for that. But as a woman, they're trying to fill that void. This is why a woman will go and, you know, cut her body up, you know, add plastic bags on her body, you know, put, you know, fake, because they're trying to fill a void that they feel they're lacking. So one of the biggest games is, okay, did she have a dad? Okay, so she's looking for a father figure, right? And then you can kind of fill that void. So that's real big, man. And the cernings of if you're trying to figure this woman out. So if she's saying things like, oh, I love you within 5-10 minutes, she might have some form of abandonment issues, stuff like that. And when a woman tells you she loves you, man, take that shit with a grain of salt, fellas. Trust me. I probably had 30, 40 women in my lifetime say they love me. But come on, man. Love is a verb. It's actions. It's not a word. It's a verb, right? Well, it's not a noun, I mean. It's not a noun. It's actions. So if she's cooking for you, taking care of you, you get sick, you know, you're only going to find out over time if a woman is truly in love with you. Not within, you know, 5 days or 2 weeks and guys be falling for it. But sometimes I think like, okay, maybe these guys got some type of issues because they should know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, you know, you live and you learn.
One quick note. So like if you read any like books on relationships by like people who are like psychiatrists, like I was reading a book, it's called the Tactical Guide to Women. I'll type it in the chat later. But basically he's like a psychiatrist who like a couples counselor. And one thing he talks about in the book is that you don't really know somebody within like the first 6 months of a relationship. Like if you just like met a girl, people hide who they are. People hide who they are. So women definitely do this a lot. So a woman, she'll hide her bad side during the first 3 to 6 months of the relationship. Like, you know, during the first 3 months, maybe everything's kind of casual, you're hooking up, everything's good, it's stress-free. But then, you know, eventually the mask starts to fall off and women start to show you who they really are. So really, honestly, if you know a woman for less than 6 months, you don't know her. And I definitely don't suggest ever marrying or getting into any long-term commitment with a woman who you haven't been with for at least 2 years. If you haven't made it 2 years with her, do not attach your life and your finances to that woman because you know, I definitely have experience with this where the woman was hiding who she was kind of, and you kind of find out later in the relationship because the craziness starts to show up. Like the craziness, like she can't hide the craziness anymore and it starts to come out. So just be aware, guys, you know, be patient. Like the benefit of being a man is that you don't have to rush into this kind of stuff. It's like, as a man, you have a lot to lose. So, you know, the woman has a lot to lose. If she has a baby by you, like the woman might lose time, but you as a man, you also have a lot to lose. And thank goodness you have less of a rush than she does probably. Like you shouldn't be in a rush to commit to any woman, I think.
Most definitely, man. Don't be falling in love too early, guys. Like, you know, be patient with it, man. Be patient. You know, a lot of guys are taught to fall in a lot of guys are in love with the idea of love. They just don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I was younger, bro, I've been in relationships and I ended up hating that woman Yeah, I went from loving her to hating her and not wanting to be around her and not ever want to see her again. So, you be careful on who you invest in, because ultimately it's probably one of the most important investments you will make in your life. And this is why the Passport Bros ideology has grown so much by leaps and bounds, because guys are like, you know what, they're more hesitant now. They're like, you know what, before I get married, and I've actually seen this guys were like, you know what, I'm about to ask this girl, to marry her. I'm about to buy an engagement ring. But let me see what BMT them talk about down in Colombia. Let me see what's going on out there in Thailand. And they travel and they come back and they be like, you know what, let me hold up for a moment. Let me just, you know what I'm saying? I got the bug now, so let me hold up. And some guys go ahead and get married, but some guys be like, man, the hell with that. I've seen what I want. So, I'm looking for more now, because it is an important investment, man. And men love hard. I don't believe you should be. I had one homeboy that used to be in love with every girl he dated. I'd be like, bro, aren't you getting tired of that shit? Like, man, like, come on, man. Like, didn't your parents teach you anything?
Yeah, on that note, like a lot of people falling in love with the idea of stuff. So going back to what we were saying about Japan, like, okay, there are probably millions of guys who watch that video about Japan. And I guarantee you, like, a lot of guys get hyped up, like, hey man, let's go to Japan. I guarantee you, like, 99% of those guys are not gonna act on it. It's like people get hyped up about the idea of something, but when it comes to taking action or getting things like done, making it happen, a lot of people fail. So, I guarantee you, like, the people who, hey, they don't even have a passport, but they see a video about Japan offering 75 stacks to get a woman pregnant. It's like, I guarantee you, most of those guys are not action takers. They're just talkers. So a lot of people, they fall in love with the idea of something. And when we get on the topic of traditional women, I actually have a lot to say about that as well. But yeah, let's keep
we own it now. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Boom. Okay, I didn't mean to cover the whole damn screen, but all right, so we own it. We got 96 in the room, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. Do Passport Bros really want traditional women? You see on the left, we got the woman with beautiful woman, no tattoos, very little makeup on, probably no makeup at all on actually, but very little. Then you got the one on the right. All right, now guys are saying they want the ones on the left. That's what guys are saying. But ultimately, a lot of guys going to these towns, these little, risky towns or risque type towns, they're getting the ones on the right. So what do you guys say about this, Danny?
Yeah. Okay, so I have a pretty interesting opinion about this. I kind of think this whole desire for like traditional women, I think is a little bit overblown. Cause I think, like, for example, okay guys, next month I'm gonna be traveling to the country Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is kind of like a traditional Muslim country. Now, for a guy like me, I'm going to be in Kazakhstan for maybe a week, 2 weeks, kind of looking for some action, I'm looking for some action. So, like, when I arrive in Kazakhstan, am I going to be looking for, like, a traditional woman who's, like, like a traditional woman isn't going to hook up with you, like, within, like, a week or something, like, of you being in town. Like, for you guys who don't live overseas or who don't live in a country, traditional woman is not gonna like give it up easy for you guys. Probably not. So keep that in mind. It's like a lot of guys think they want a traditional woman, like they like the idea of a traditional woman, but does a traditional woman fit my lifestyle? Like for my lifestyle, I'm traveling to different countries, I'm meeting different women. I'm not particularly interested in monogamy or a one woman. I kind of have a different ideal relationship setup that I'm pursuing. So yeah, I just don't think like, okay, I want a traditional woman who like doesn't have the internet. Like a lot of guys, hey, any woman with social media, I'm not gonna be any woman with social media, I'm gonna stay away from her. Does that type of woman fit my lifestyle? Cause I'm like I'm kind of posting on social media a lot, like is she gonna understand my lifestyle at all? Is she the type of woman that I can bring to different countries and travel with me? Probably not. But yeah, I think this kind of traditional woman thing is a little bit overblown. I don't think guys are thinking it through all the way.
And shout out to you, man, for $2 super chat. Said Flight Madness says book, The Tactical Guide to Women. Is that like a book you read or?
Yeah. It's a book. I just talked about it a second ago, where the guy talks about how you don't really know somebody within the first 6 months Like you don't really know a woman. Like you should vet, and you definitely shouldn't tie yourself down to her within the first 2 years. Like not to the point where if she like goes crazy, it can like ruin your life. Or yeah, don't ever tie yourself down to a woman like that before the 2 year mark. Like don't give her that kind of power over you because people are really good at hiding who they are. Like guys get fooled all the time, y'all. Like guys get fooled. Like guys who are smart, intelligent, rich, they get fooled by women all the time. So yeah, it could be you. You know.
You know, it's interesting, man, because I would say that women overseas in a lot of these countries, they have a better understanding of men than the women do in the States, right? Like a lot of guys don't like the whole sexy red, lotto, you know, promiscuous, going for the bad type of female. Most guys don't like that shit, especially guys, going out of their 20s into their 30s. They like, you know what? Those girls are just for the moment, fun. But I will say that the foreign woman game is they'll they dress nice. They dress more, conservative in some cases. They got the glasses on and they'll say, hey, I'm in school. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Knowing that you don't know a lot about their background and history. So they understand to tell you kind of what you want to hear. But like you say, you kind of do a full commitment. Like I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was dating a woman in Barranquilla for like 7 months and she ended up being totally the person that she said she wasn't. Basically, she was just like a little gold digger, but she knew how to tell me what I wanted to hear. No kids, or I don't go to the club like that. No tattoos, no piercings. I mean, everything you would want in a woman. But her mentality was still gold diggish, or her mentality is still very modern. So that's some things you definitely got to watch out for. And like you say, I think that's a really good tactic. I think some people say 6 months. I'm from the South, so I say a whole type of year. Well, you from the South too. I say a whole year. Just kind of vet. You got to test her like they test you, right? Everybody has a mask on the first couple of months, couple of weeks. And it's funny, man, because girls be like, oh, you uninterested, or you this, that, and the other. And it's not that I'm uninterested in you. It's just that I know the game backwards and forwards. I'm not going to, be telling you, oh, baby, I love you. I'm not hitting you every morning. Good morning. I'm not doing none of that shit because I don't know who you are. I'm trying to figure you out. I'm trying to pull your mask off. And that's anywhere in the world, fellas. I know it's been a lot of pandering. It's been a lot of guys on YouTube channels that in this space have hired girlfriends to be in their videos. And unfortunately, it's very misleading because guys go out to these countries assuming that it's something that is really not. And then they get out there and they say, man, this was all, they get upset. They get upset and they start making videos saying, hey, man, this was all bullshit. They all this, they all that. Not knowing that, it was traditional women around. You just was misled, you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely traditional women around. But the whole, I'm going to this foreign country, I don't know the language, and I'm going to get me a traditional woman in 2-3 weeks, it's a myth, guys.
Yeah, on that note, I also okay, when I touched down in the Philippines back in like January, I met a young lady at the club, and she told me, oh, I'm in school, I'm like nursing, I don't often go to the club, I'm like a good girl, but man, her bottom half, down there was completely shaved, right? So no hair, talking about that's not really a girl who doesn't go to the club. She's usually not going to be shaved clean down there, at least for an Asian girl, unless she's had experience with foreigners before. So it definitely wasn't her first go around. And but I believed it until I asked my friend. I was like, hey, hey, she said she's like a nurse student, like da da da. I believed her. Like she seemed like a good liar. But turns out I was just another guy, just guy number 237 or something. Like, who knows?
And this is over in China, right?
The Philippines.
Oh, this is the Philippines. Okay.
It happens in China too.
Okay, so it's Dre the Kid. Shout out to my man, it's Dre the Kid, man. He's also, both of these guys are actually mods in the Facebook group and on the app. He says, you can want a traditional woman, but do you know what role as a traditional man is? Dudes be forgetting that part. Can't be on that BS and think you're getting a solid chick overseas. Okay, so let's put this to bed. All right. In a sense, we're talking about traditional men. I mean, it's a standard definition all over the world. That means pretty much you're going to be the majority financial provider and protector. Okay. That's what being a traditional man is. She might have a job, she might not, but you're going to be the majority breadwinner. And some guys are not ready for that. I'm telling you. Like I've known guys to be in Colombia and get highly upset that the chick that he's dating never has any money. And I'm sitting here like, well, bro, you got two options overseas a lot of times. These girls that are independent, they have jobs, they might work 6 days a week, 12-hour days, bro. So you're not going to be able to see her like that unless she lives with you. And even if she lives with you, she might not feel like cooking you an hour course from scratch every day. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the chick who's 23, 24, doesn't really have a job. She's pretty much she had the time to be with you every day. She has the time to cook and clean with you. All right. She has the time to be, knocking you out in the bedroom every other night. So that's the difference. So I think that Dre has a very good point. Like, you want a traditional woman, but are you one of them guys that's like on that 50-50 shit? Like, oh, nah, man, she got to pay bills too. Oh, she got to do, I ain't gonna let her just stack her. Like, are you willing to be a traditional man?
Yeah. I see a lot of contradiction in like the Facebook groups. Like they're demanding a traditional woman while at the same time they're posting videos about how women expect for the man to like have money. So it's like a lot of contradiction. Like guys aren't clear about the expectations. Like we get on women a lot for having unrealistic expectations, but I'm starting to notice a lot of guys are also somewhat unrealistic. It's like like women live in a fantasy world, and it's pretty clear a lot of these guys also live in a fantasy world. Like they have a lot of delusions about their value, what they provide, and what an actual relationship with a woman is going to look like. For me, like, if a woman wants to cook and clean, that's great. For me, it's not really necessary. It's a nice thing to do. Preferably, like, I prefer the woman to not work. Like, I would prefer to just provide for her financially, if that means that she'll have more freedom to do the stuff that I want to do. Like, so if I want to like take a trip somewhere, when we want to go to Thailand for a week, is she able to do that? Or no, I got to work. She has a normal 9-to-5 job. I can't do that with her. So for me, I want the kind of option like to take care of the woman. But also for me, I also don't want the woman in my face every day. Like I really don't like it if the woman is in my face 24 hours a day. I kind of want some space. I prefer to keep it to only seeing her face maybe 3 times a week max. But that's kind of unrealistic if you're looking for like traditional, like you want the woman in the house cooking and cleaning. So I already know that I'm not really. Well, someone said I don't even think he's really into women at all. Dang, man, Dre, you doing me dirty. But yeah, man, for me, the traditional woman setup isn't gonna work out for me probably. So I have to look for alternative ways, alternative relationship setups. BMT, are you muted? I can't hear BMT. Is he muted?
I'm good. Shout out to the Black Cleaner and Restored super chat. He says, pushback. Men fall in love because of utility, not quality. She's cute, provides needs, provides peace. She'll do. Women are looking for the best deal she can get. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring on a panel, guys. Let me go ahead and bring on this panel. Got the Black Cleaner in the building, and I also got my man, it's Dre the Kid in the building. What's up, man? What's going on, family? We in here. All right, so I'll start with you, the Black Cleaner. What do you got to say to this traditional woman thing? Black Cleaner, you all.
I believe that we just need traditional people, period. Oh, Lord,
okay.
not the Panama internet again. But yeah, as I said, we just need traditional people, period, not just traditional women, because you got a lot of people that is just playing by their own rules. They just being shady, and the women is on top of that. They're the cream of the crop when it comes to that. And I have to give a shout out to Dre from Love Crossing Borders, because he touched on that your last podcast where he was talking about they're always looking for someone that they can get over on. And that's why you got to come with them with a mask on or as your fake self and trying to manipulate them to get what they want. But as soon as you go overseas, you can be real. And as long as you're being real with the people overseas, they're being real with you. It's normally in the States where you're starting to see all of that. Oh, a person who's being real that the other person is looking at them as a mark or as someone that they can over on.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. And I think you froze up on me, brother. Try coming back in. Do me a favor. Try coming back in. I think you froze up on me. All right, my man is Dre the Kid in the building.
What's going on, homie?
Man, what's good? What's good, man? Tell us what the real is, brother. Tell us what the real is. Well, first give us where you're at and what your situation is.
All right. Those that don't know, I am on the coast of Colombia. I live but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Excellent, man. And what you think about this subject? What you think about this? Am I losing you, Trey?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think I lost you for a second, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. But what I was saying in the comments was more so, does a man really know what his role is going to be when he pull up to these countries, seeking a woman? It's like, so I see some of these guys, they come down, like I heard you mention earlier, it's like, oh, he wants the 50-50 or this, that, and the other, or complaining that she doesn't have any money. Well, what exactly is it that you're providing to that situation to somewhat help? So it's like either you coming to the table and you're going to provide for this woman, and this woman's going to take care of your household, all that kind of stuff. Like you said, if she's young or even if she's an older chick and she doesn't have a job or her job doesn't pay her very much, but she's with you the majority of the time, she keeps your house clean, she's cooking for you every day. Of course, you're going to need to provide something for her in return because she's doing her job in that equation. Your job in that equation is to take care of everything. But if she's working and she can provide for herself, you providing for yourself, y'all come together, y'all got more of what we used to in the States, and you can approach it more along those lines. Because my wife, when we first got together, she worked 6 days a week. Because that's pretty standard here in Colombia, is most of them do work 6 days a week. She's got a better schedule now to where she only works Monday through Friday. But I mean, I won't say it was difficult, but even then, she's accustomed to when she wakes up in the morning, she gets up early. She'll make breakfast and lunch. One, it's not necessarily because of me being a foreigner, or she's trying to impress me. It's just what she would have been doing anyway, because they don't believe in wasting money eating out every day. So they're going to make their breakfast, because it ain't like there's a whole bunch of places that they can just go hit a drive-through and get some food on the way to work. So they're going to make their breakfast and they're going to make their food to eat for lunch. When she comes home from work, one of the first things she does when she walks in the door, I don't have to say, I ain't never had to say anything, but she comes in, she's going to cook dinner and then, get herself together after work. That's the norm for me. Now, she doesn't ask me for money or anything like that on a regular. She tries to do most stuff on her own. But when she can't, that's when she'll come to me and ask me, hey, can you pay for this or pay for that? Or can you help me pay for this? Stuff for her family and whatnot. But outside of that, I take care of everything.
Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, you're saying that you can have a little bit of both overseas. Basically, you can still have a woman with traditional values and bring a little something to the table financially.
Right, because that's something that she wants to do. She wants to go out and work and try to have some sense of independence aside from what is traditionally in her family, because most of the women in her family don't do that. And most of the males in her family don't like that she works, but they understand that that's a choice that she wants to do, and that's not something that I told her that she has to do, because regardless of if she works or not, everything's covered, whether we travel, all the bills are paid, and if needed, whatever the salary that she works for, not to knock it, I always tell her, but I can give you that, I just pay you that salary. You don't have to go there, but that's something that she wants to do for more of a self-accomplishment and stuff like that. But she does not slack on her role within the household. Okay.
So let me catch some of these comments. Ray Hanna, the Hanna Force says, no, dude, we are saying no materialistic women, which equals westernized women. So I think the guys in the chat are saying that, hey, man, it's whatever it is, it's better than what the modern women are in the West. What do you guys say to that? Are the girls really that much different than the girls in the States?
So I live in China, and China is pretty materialistic. Chinese girls, anyway, like the more beautiful a girl is, like the more cash she expects you to spend. That's pretty normal here. Honestly, I don't have a problem with it. Like, honestly, I don't know why guys are so like bent out of shape about a woman being materialistic. Like, she wants nice things. I think it's fine if like the woman wants nice, expensive stuff. Like, I like high quality stuff too. Um, I think when we focus so much on like, oh man, like the woman wants me to spend money. I think when we have that kind of mindset, it makes us kind of look like cheapskates. And I think that can hurt us in the long run if we say like, hey, I want a woman who doesn't like want me to spend money on nice stuff for her. Like, some women like fancy luxury stuff. I don't think there's any issue with that if you can afford it. Yeah, I don't see much issue in so materialism. But that's just me. I know a lot of guys might disagree. So,
Dre, do you think it possible to find a woman like that in the States that works 4-5 days a week and then comes home, cooks and cleans?
I'm not gonna say it's impossible. That would be unrealistic of a stereotype, but I think it's less likely, or it's something that the two of you may need to communicate about. You're in the States, she working, you working. Hopefully, you making good money, she's making good money, and y'all can, communicate things between the two of you that's what you would like for her to do. Because more than likely, you're just not going. You ain't gonna get her just cook for you every day just because you said it when she paying half the bills there. So that's kind of like a mutual responsibility there and weight you don't have. So you're going to have to figure out how to assert either some sort of dominance or respect. I should say respect, not necessarily dominance. Because again, she paying 50-50. So you ain't got a whole lot of leverage if she paying half the bills.
Good point. Good point. And as far as traditional women and modern women, would you say the majority of women out there in Colombia, let's just talk about Medellin, not necessarily Barranquilla, but are these women more traditional in a sense, or they're more modernized in like Medellin, specifically in these gringo heavy areas?
Oh, gringo heavy areas? Oh,
yeah.
It's over with. It's over with. Those are not the typical women that you're going to come across here in the culture, whether it's Medellin, any of the suburbs of Medellin. Bucaramanga is more interior. Well, I won't say Bucaramanga because they're way more conservative there than Medellin. So it's Medellin in the Poblado area, the Laureles, most of that little circuit of tourist area. The women over there are either professional or part-time professionals, or they are definitely after you and your access to provide them with something. The whole, they just trying to get to America. Now, most of them, the vast majority of them, are not trying to leave this country. They'll go visit, but they ain't just trying to use you to get to the States, but they will for sure use you for your money because they perceive us as having a lot of money. And the way we spend money in pesos is like we don't care about money. Because a lot of us that will come here when you first arrive, if you don't understand exchange rates, all you look at is how much is leaving my account in dollars. And you go to a restaurant and you pay $8 for a beer. Okay, it's $8 for a beer. I got that. It ain't nothing. That's $8. But you're not looking at the reality of that beer actually costs $1.50. So, in what places in the States do you go and throw away that kind of money? See, if you're in the States and you see the price is $1.50 for the Budweiser, and you go down the street, or the norm is $1.50 because we pay way more than that in the States. But let's say the norm for something is $1.50. Are you gonna go and willingly pay $8 for that same beer? You're gonna see the markup and be like, I know, it's one thing we go to the games, beers and all, prices fluctuate. But what I'm getting at is when something is the norm, you're not usually going to pay a whole lot more than what it's supposed to cost. That they know it could be a local beer. It's supposed to cost 50 cents, for example. And we're going to come pay $10 and then buy everybody a beer. In their eyes, we don't care about money. So they gonna want us to come down here.
Is your audio going out?
Yeah, I hear the audio keeps going out. The audio
Yeah,
keeps
Dre.
going out.
It's the Colombian internet. You know how that go.
Okay. That's weird. The audio going out. Okay. Because
But,
you be dropping some bars.
But
Dre has a habit of telling cats what they don't want to hear.
yeah, you know me, dog. You know me. I try to shoot it straight. You know what I'm saying? I know folks
Right.
come down here party. You know, we party. You can have fun and all that, but dudes they get it twisted too much coming down here. And you get one experience, and then there's the local normal experience. Most of these guys are used to the tourist experience or long-term tourist experience.
Yeah, you definitely gotta validate it. But I will say it's still a nice pool of women to select from.
Yeah.
First off, if you're living in the country and you learn the language, that's going to be the two major differences right there.
Yeah, you got to speak that Spanish. That Spanish gonna open a whole lot of doors.
Most definitely. Now, Danny, I got a question for you, man. Now, you've been to all these cities, these, I guess, modern Asian cities. Would you say it's a nice selection of traditional women, or are they just kind of on go mode like the women in the States or the Western women?
There are tons of traditional women. And by traditional, I mean women who aren't going to hook up with you very quickly. And me personally, I don't like that. But there are women who have those kind of traditional values. So like they're looking for a marriage. They're looking for a guy who's going to lock them down relatively quickly. You can find that guy. Like it's not difficult to find in Asia. Like there are lots of women who will, play that traditional role for you. But it's like, when you actually get that, do you really want it? Like when you first touch down overseas, I think some of the older guys might be looking for marriage, but I think for the younger guys, like this whole I want a traditional woman thing. No, I think you probably just want to smash, bro. I think you just want to come over here and smash a bit, and then maybe you'll probably, after a while, after you sow your oats, then maybe you'll be looking for marriage. But I think a lot of these guys are fresh out of America, looking for a modern woman. Maybe it's a little bit too soon. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Okay. And I see you, Black Cleaner. I'm waiting for you to come on in, man. You having issues with your device. Nate Hartfield says, I'd rather have a woman/female who wants nice things that have high return value back to bank accounts, such as land, Airbnb, helping the money grow, not just letting it go. So you want a financial teammate. There's nothing wrong with that. I get it. But I think guys going overseas looking for that, you may find that, you may not. You might find that, you might not find that. Go ahead, Danny.
Someone asked a question. You see VYBZ. What happens when you can't get her what she wants? So what happens when you can't get the girl what she wants? You're probably not going to be able to satisfy your woman 100% of the time because, as we say, women are never happy 100%. I think it's very rare that you're going to see a woman who's always satisfied and never wants more. A woman could be dating a 6'5" millionaire, blah, blah, blah. She'll still find some reason to be unhappy. That's what it seems like. But really, it just depends on the woman. Some women, they can handle disappointment. If you don't want to buy her that Gucci bag, it's not in their budget. I've had women try to get me to buy them stuff, and I was like, nah. Especially if I just met her, and she hasn't given me anything that I want, but when it comes to small stuff, I have one girl who she loves whenever her and I walk around the shopping area, she's always trying to pull me into these little stores and get her something. She's a university student. So okay, last time we met, I got her a little small lipstick thing. It only costs $8 and it makes her happy. So it's it's whatever. Does that make me a trick or make me a simp? I mean, I'm getting some action in return, so I'm okay with it. But it's like Dre was saying, the cost differential is if you got money like that, it might not hurt your wallet too much. If if it makes the woman happy, why not? I'll get her a little lipstick. I'll get her a little toy from in my city, they got these like really expensive like luxury toys that are like all the girls like. So, like, hey, if I get that for a girl, she'll be really happy. But it's not too expensive. It's like $20 or something. But for a girl, it's like, wow, like, that's like a whole day's salary for like a university educated girl. and you just bought it for her like nothing. So yeah, I'm okay with spending money if it makes the woman happy. I don't have a problem with this whole materialism thing.
Okay. Shout out to my man Mike M says, if you automatically hitting the red light district, you are not looking for a traditional woman. There's some truth to that. Hey, but dudes still be wifing them up, man. They still be wifing them up, believe it or not. Dudes still be. I don't suggest it, but let me tell you, dudes still be, they still be wifing them up regardless. And you know what? You know what's interesting, man? Like, I have seen guys wife up women that were formerly in the life. You know what I'm saying? The nightlife. I have seen it, and in some cases I've seen it, it worked, believe it or not. Maybe she was at a point where she had a choice to make, and she was like, you know what, I'm getting older. I don't want to be one of these. I mean, the worst thing you can see or they can go through is be over a certain age and still doing what they're doing, right? Because that's a young game. It's supposed to be a young game. So sometimes, in some cases, when they get it out, they get it out. But what I noticed is this might be in more so the Latin countries than the Asian countries, because the Asian countries, man, with the brothers, when they be doing it, it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just more cutthroat out there to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe it's because, it's different cultures, but I don't know how to explain it. I really don't know how to explain it. So basically what I'm saying is I've seen guys wife girls up out of life in Latin America, right? And they seem to make it happen. They do what they do. But I've seen guys take these girls out in, Southeast Asia, and in some cases it might work, but in most cases it's like there's no trust there. Like, as soon as them guys hop on the plane, she's back doing what she's doing. Whereas in Latin America, when they're done, they're done. So I think that's some of the differences that I've seen, at least me personally. I don't recommend it at all. I recommend looking for your woman in a traditional sense, meeting her organically if possible. Dating sites are cool, but if you can, I would prefer you meet her in person. That's how I try to generally meet my women, is in person. All right, so that's my let's speak on it.
At least here in Colombia, one of the ways you can definitely tell if this woman is really about you, if that's the road you're trying to go down. Mm-hmm. How soon do you meet her friends and family?
Facts.
That's something that happen within the first month or so, or less. Because
and it'd be so uncomfortable, Dre. You'd be like, damn, I met you last week, baby. Like, give me some time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, when you don't see none of her friends and legit friends, not her work friends, how you see in the park at night. When you don't see her friends or her family, she ain't studying you, bro.
It's funny how you said like the difference between like the Asian pros and the Latin America pros. Like, for me, my perspective, based off what I've seen, you would think like the women in Latin America are more cutthroat, because over here, like in Asia, you don't really hear about women setting up guys. Like, pretty much, like,
that's a fact. That's a fact. You're right on that. You're right on that.
Yeah,
but women, but I have seen women steal businesses out there, steal entire businesses. They finesse their husband the paperwork. I've seen women steal houses. You know what I'm saying? Because the laws out there is so situated for them. Because, in generally speaking, and it's ways around all these little laws. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of laws are pro local, pro Asian, meaning the house is 50% hers, 51% hers. So I mean, bro, them white guys. Shout out to my white guys, my white passport bros. They be getting finessed like a motherfucker in Thailand, bro. They got whole entire groups and channels of getting finessed on a high level. I'm talking about losing $250,000 houses, bro. You know what I'm saying? Some of these Latin countries, they might steal your Listerine or your pocket change or some shit off the dresser, but they ain't doing it like that. Now in Colombia, that's a different story. Like they take the bank, they take your whole account.
They gonna get you.
That's what my ass out here.
Folks stealing crypto.
Hey, that's what my ass out here. The DR player. Shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference in having some toothpaste missing and the goddamn your whole bank account gone.
Yeah, you gotta be careful down here, boy.
Somebody said those Thai women be finessing, bro. I'm telling you, it's a whole. And that's the reason I be saying this, man, because I think that's where the fantasy is at the most. The biggest fantasy world is in Asia, where guys think they're gonna pull up because it's so far away. So you're thinking like, oh, it can't be nothing like the West. you know, guys pull up and they just think they're gonna play. I mean, I've seen it happen, bro. Like guys be wifing up girls on these little areas, and they think they really got him one. I'd be like, bro, as soon as you get on that plane, she's hopping. She's hopping. You know, same in DR too. Black Cleaner, you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I was in Asia. I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan for about 4 years. And you're right about that. What I noticed is that they do have what they call Asian or Japanese politeness. Okay. So which really is naivety. So they're gonna be so nice and kind to you, and then as soon as you leave, okay, they're gonna go hang out with their friends at the bar or whatever, and then another guy is gonna come up to them, and then they're gonna start being nice and kind to them. And so, you know, if you're from the States or whatever, and you got a little bit of game, you're gonna be able to win over on that, you know, person who has that, you know, kindness going towards you. And that's what I see happens a lot. Their naivety gets the best of them.
Facts. That's facts.
But no, then you got dudes that like we're saying, when you leave, she gonna be with the next dude. Well, I don't know how a lot of these guys think that even if you send them money, I don't know how you figure this girl is actually gonna be loyal to you when you're not even there. And you don't tell them when you coming back. And think about how many dudes you met her in the tourist area or online, because especially down here online, the only people online is those females and foreigners. So if you met her online and you gone, she done met she probably got 10 other dudes doing the exact same thing as you, because y'all ain't gonna be in the country at the same time anyway.
Facts. I want to pull this up. This is a channel called Thai Talk with Dan. This is one of the channels. And he pretty much does interviews and story times of American guys, Western guys getting finessed by Thai women, bro. So, I mean, them guys be getting got so many times. You know, what could go wrong? My dating disaster in Thailand. You know, guys be committing suicides out there, killing themselves because they think that the women really love them. I mean, bro, Thai bride from hell. Like, don't date a bar girl. Like, they got all types. And this is just one channel. Like, this is just one channel, bro. It's many. And I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's more of a similar culture when you talking about Black Americans or just Americans in general, and Dominicans, or, you know, because I still think it's more of us in close-knit corners in Latin countries than it is in Asian countries. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's some similarities that you'll kind of recognize what's coming to you versus all the way out there. Man, I've seen women play sweet up all the way to the day they get you. Like, it was a guy that lost his whole business. He had a whole business. He had a whole food truck, and she just finessed him out the paperwork. He thinking like, oh, my Thai wife she ain't gonna leave me astray. Everything is in Thai, so I'm just gonna not translate. I trust her. Sign his business away, just like that. So it's a different finesse, guys. And I'm not trying to bust you guys' bubble. We just say, hey, it's some pretty good traditional women overseas, family, but watch for the hook. You still gotta watch. You gotta keep your frame as a man, no matter where you at on this God green earth, because human nature is human nature. All right, I want to give a shout out to my man T Mac with a $4.99 super chat. He says, meeting family of a woman or even one of my employees is 100% facts. The most trusted women and employees were those whose families I met in Colombia. So he already know the game, Dre. He agreeing with you.
Because it's the easiest thing, you know, the unfortunate people that, you know, get robbed. One of the thing that's constant in all them situations is you don't know nothing about this woman. You don't know her real name. You ain't never seen where she live at. You don't know who her family or her friends are, and you just woke up, all your stuff gone. Crypto too.
You know what's funny? What'd be funny was when they get a pic of their ID and they think that's it. I'd be like, bro, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, that, and you know, I get it. You know, at least you're trying, but you don't even know what a real ID, a scheduler down here look like. So what are you really doing?
Right, man. Right. Dre, but what's okay? Besides the family, are there any other red flags to kind of look out for when you're dating out there in Colombia?
Well, in Medellin, if she don't have a job, or if she seems to be always available, you need to be figuring out what the hell is she doing with her time, because that's not normal. And
I had to learn that myself. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's like
because they be saying they in school, or what they'll say is, "Oh, I do nails or some shit," and I'm like, well, when do you do nails?
And it's for the chicks that you actually trying to be with. Now, all that other stuff, you can get into. You ain't got to worry about all, at least not this kind of stuff. But yeah, if she got a lot of free time, it's normal for them to want to be your shadow. Like, I gotta pry my wife away from me, and I had to, but even before we got married, give me, I don't say give me some space, but they're gonna be your shadow. And if she's not that, there's something wrong.
Okay. Danny, give us some little red flags to look out for out there in Asia, brother.
Okay, so one interesting thing, like going back to what you said about how like kind of white guys get finessed by women, I think Asian women, I think because maybe Asian women, they kind of look innocent, right? They kind of look like innocent, like they kind of get that girl look. So I think a lot of us guys, like we think, like, oh, there's no way that this cute, innocent Asian girl, like she's so small and cute, there's no way she would be like, screw me out of like my entire life, And then guys get taken like it's a fantasy, right? It's like, we think like women, a lot of guys think that Asian women are so submissive and subservient, and they can be, but it's like, like they can easily like kung fu that. It's like, what, I don't know, taekwondo, whatever that martial art thing where you like take someone's aggressiveness and you use it against them. Like, you're in a defensive position and you use their aggressiveness against them.
Judo.
Judo. Oh yeah, okay, judo. Yeah, judo. Yeah. But basically, yeah. In terms of red flags, basically, age is kind of one red flag because, like, for example, like for an Asian girl, the girls I see in the nightclub, they've been in the nightclub for years. Like, and I'm not trying to knock the nightclub girls. Like, you can find good girls in the nightclub, but it's like there's some girls who've been like they've been in the nightclub for years. They've hooked up with like hundreds of foreigners. Like their lay count is like really high, and it's like, okay, at a certain age, what's this girl doing? Like if she's like 25 in the nightclub and like, she's telling you some kind of sob story about how bad her ex-boyfriend was or something, how many guys has she run through? How many guys, generally speaking, like those women, local guys might avoid those types of women because they see the red flags those women have. But us foreigners, we get blinded. Like for us, we think 25 is young. So we see, okay, Asian girl, she's like 25, 26 in the nightclub. Oh, she's had bad relationships. I can save her. I can like wipe her down. And you don't realize, man, that girl, she's like, she's an expert in like, she's an expert in what she does. She's an expert actor. She's probably been through a lot of guys. For some reason, she couldn't lock down a guy. That's a question you got to ask yourself. Like, if this girl is so amazing, how come she hasn't locked down a guy yet? How come, like, no guy has tried to, like, I mean, there are women out here, they get marriage proposals, guys. Like, women who are high quality, they get marriage proposals out here. So if a girl is, like, past a certain age and she's, like, looking pretty single and she has all these sob stories, be suspicious.
Okay. Black Cleaner, you got any red flags for us?
Well, in Asia, I'll say the imprint game is a big red flag. Prime example. All right, when I was overseas, you'll see girls who have, I'm from Boston originally, so I listen to East Coast, all your New York music. But back then in the 90s, that's when down south music came. So all of a sudden you start seeing a big CD book full of nothing but Master P and
goddamn right. That's right.
and 8-Ball MJG up in there. So that lets you know what dude who she who has that imprint on her, or if that's the type of style that she likes. So,
hey, hold on, Black Cleaner. I gotta stop you right there. You are absolutely right, bro. I remember being in Atlanta, and I'm like, if she listens to Gucci Man, I'm not fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? If she one of them Gucci Man girls, I'm good. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you're absolutely right. What she listens to is real important.
Yep, and then also too, how if she doesn't speak well English, but then all of a sudden, you go away for a week or whatever, and you come back, and then her English is better. It's somebody else done taught her a couple of phrases. You know, like
Facts.
I came back off of a cruise because, as I said, I was in the Navy, and then I go see my girlfriend, and all of a sudden she comes to me and she's like, "How have you been?" I'm like, "Who the fuck taught you that shit?" Oh, okay. I know where you've been. So,
bruh. Yeah, it ain't nothing worse than like dating a little Venezuelan chick or something, and then you coming back like a 3 months later, and her English is damn near perfect, and she's saying little stuff come from the city, like you know what I'm saying. You're like, hey, what's up, son? You but what? Wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like that's true, bro. 100% true. All right, so guys, we've been at it for a good little minute, man. But I do want to ask the whole panel this question in closing, man. All right, so maybe you can give a percentage. I don't know, but in your opinions, are passport bros looking for just an easy hookups, right? By manipulating, I guess that's what some of the narratives, talking points against passport bros. Are bros looking for just random hookups to easy manipulate women, foreign women, or are they actually looking for traditional women? Are you looking for wives overseas? I'll start out with you. Black Cleaner, and I'll just go around.
okay. Ultimately, yes, they're looking for traditional women, okay, because of what's been going on in the Matrix. They've been mistreated, they've been abused, they've been through trauma. So, in essence, ultimately, they're looking for a traditional woman. But in the stage that they're in, because they're coming out of abusive relationships, I'm included in that. The first thing that they're looking for is that reset. So what happens is they'll go overseas and they'll go to a Sosua or a Zona Colonial or, the Clock Tower at Cartagena to get the reset. And then as soon as the reset happens and they got that
wrong with Zona Colonial,
consciousness. Huh?
Go ahead. I say ain't nothing wrong with Zona Colonial, but go ahead, bro.
Okay, I'll let you tell it. But yeah, as soon as they get that coochie consciousness, now they're starting to look for the wife. They're starting to look for all of the other, attributes of a good woman. But first, they just need that reset because they just been through so much with the previous woman before. And I'll end it there.
Okay, Dre.
I'd say it's the ones that get the most attention are the weekend warriors. You want to, be able to travel, see the world, have fun, vacation, kind of exploring in these areas. You having contact with these local females on vacation. It's kind of a, smash and dash sort of thing. And the guys that are looking for more than that don't really get as much spotlight because it's less appealing and thumbnails and stuff like that. So those guys get kind of pushed to the back and looked over. You get looped in with weird stereotypes, or they only looking for this, looking for that. I mean, it's a mixture of both. So it would depend on the individual and what he's looking for and how he's going about it as to what the overall experience is going to be. So I wouldn't loop all passport bros in one area or another. I'd say, it's obviously a mix. But the ones that get the most attention are the dumb ones or the weekend warriors doing, hot boy shit on the weekends.
Right. Like the ones fighting in parque areas. You know what I'm saying?
The dude that video circulating around that tried to skip out on his bill. He just happened to be one of us.
Oh, is that what you think? Is that what happened, or that for sure?
I saw it. It's on the news. I sent it to you on Instagram.
Oh man, hold on. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that video. Where's that video at? Damn it!
Yeah,
I got it somewhere, guys. So that's what happened. He skipped out on the build. Man, I was going for Buddy. I was hoping it wasn't that.
Yeah,
but you know what? Now you know they be finessing on them bills out there.
I was just about to say that because they that happened to me and I had a situation that night, and if it weren't for my connections and what I do down here, I would have had some big problems that night because it was police everywhere when I had my little situation.
So guys, if you wonder what we're talking about, I did a show on this yesterday about the golden rules of a passport, bro. This is right here.
hold on.
Oh man. Yeah, Grego, you were right. I was trying to get a dude the benefit of the doubt. You know, it's a brother, so I was good time. Grego said it off the rip. Man, he ain't pay his bill, bro. I'm like, nah, that couldn't
What's
be
up,
it.
Grego?
Shout out my man Grego, man. You better stop trying to save them because you're their color. Grego a racist, guys. Shout out my man Grego. Shout out my man Grego. Light skin supremacy ass that motherfucker. Shout out to Grego, man. Brandon Clark says, great stream, bros. Shout out my man Brandon Clark in the building. All right, go ahead, Danny. What you guys say on that?
So I think it's like a mix. So like I'm in really a lot of different travel groups. It's pretty clear that the younger guys who are kind of fresh off the airplane, they're trying to smash and dash. Like you might have a couple outliers who are young guys who are looking for wives, but even those guys are still trying to like sow their oats. Like Black Cleaner said. Me personally, I'm doing a little bit of both. I guess I am looking for a long term, but I also am like, I'm not trying to get tied down. I am having fun, just traveling, going to new countries. So it's like, I don't think you have to be just one or the other. You can be a mix. And I think traditionally, someone wrote in the chat like, "Oh man, we need Passport Bros. We need to get past this whole pay for play thing." Like in Asia, pay for play is kind of a way of life. Like guys are married and they still go, do the pay for play on the side, like local guys. So it's not like a thing like you have to drop it as soon as you get married. I guess if you're like one of those types of guys who plans on being like monogamous and committed to the woman, I guess okay, that helps. Okay, no more pay for play, no more side chicks. But you can have both, y'all. You can do both. And this guy Gen Warrior, he keeps leaving a lot of funny comments. But yeah, anyway, yeah, you can do both, y'all. Like you can have your cake and eat it too. Especially if you set up your game the right way, you run your relationship the right way. Yeah, you can have both. Why not?
Okay, excellent. And Sean Worldwide says a really dope comment to go ahead and end the show. He says, Passport Bros don't fly 1,000,000 miles for box. Passport Bros travel 1,000,000 miles for respect. All right, so just a general question to the chat in closing real quick. One more question. Would you say that in general, in your experiences, do you think foreign women as a collective respect men a little bit more than the women in the West do?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Dre. You can go ahead.
Who you posing that to first?
Dre, go ahead, Dre.
Most definitely. And it's a lot of times I think it's hard for guys to grasp the reality of that, but it's because I feel we don't have a solid base of a culture in the States to understand exactly what culture means and how it dictates how people behave.
Okay, so you say it's more of a cultural thing, a reason why women in the West kind of low key have this, I would say, undermining towards men to a certain degree. That's what's like, comes like a little undermining. And you know what? I think it's the programming. Although they watch a lot of American movies overseas, I think the programming is that the man is just a dummy. Like you look at The Simpsons, you look at Family Guy, you look at some of these movies. It's like the man is always the one that has a learning curve, and the woman is just so smart and strong and intelligent. And we're just dummies, just baby makers, basically. So it might be some of the programming on that too.
Yeah. Now I use this example all the time. Is as far as culture, my mother-in-law comes over here and actually will clean. I don't say anything. If she sees some dishes in the sink, she gonna wash them. Difference in culture.
Okay. Big difference in culture because generally speaking, the women in the West, your mother-in-law is like an enemy of the state 9 times out of 10. Not all the time, but a lot of times because the mother-in-law isn't married or doesn't have anyone. So you're in essence, especially in the black community, you're marrying not only the daughter, but in low key you're marrying the mom too. So yeah, guys. So that's an excellent show, man. Very good classic show, guys. I appreciate everybody coming on, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We out, man. Peace.
See y'all next time.
You are the most beautiful woman in the world.
Most beautiful woman in the world.
Look
How
at this
do
woman.
you know? This guy doesn't even have a passport. I have a passport, and I know when I see the most beautiful woman in the world. And you ain't it. Excuse me.
Asshole.
What a dick.
His ugly ass.
I'm getting a passport soon.
I love your app. Download the Passport Bros app. Well, y'all know what it is. Download the app.
Y'all need to join that Passport Bros app.
Download now in the App Store and Google Play.